What's happening, good people? Welcome to the channel. I'm Wes, aka Mr. Budget Watch, and today I'll be covering a newish Pagani. That is the PD-1696, aka the Turtle homage. So this was provided to the channel at a discount, though you guys know by now that does not impact my opinion. Link for this and the Pagani official store can be found in the description. So I don't know about you, but I was actually quite looking forward to this one, as the Turtle is one of my favourite Seikos, though it's a little bit out of my reach financially. So when this one showed up and I saw it, I thought, ooh, could this actually be a solid alternative? Or is it a case of so close yet so far? Before we actually get into the review, I actually asked you guys some questions on the community tab, and I'll be answering those in this review. So you'll hear them pop up every now and then. So let's just get going. So kicking off with the dimensions, and this one measures in at a rather large, on average, 44mm. In some places it's actually a little bit bigger. So yeah, it is quite a large one. Adding the crown does further increase this to 48.2, so it is on the big side. Lug to lug though is 47.7, so that's a little bit more manageable. Lug width is a standard 22mm, and it's a pretty thick one at 14. Last up, the crown, 6.8mm. So as for the construction, it's made from 316L throughout, and has a 120 click unidirectional bezel that has a Pepsi coloured aluminium insert, but more on that in a little bit. The crystal is a shallow domed sapphire with a slight beveled edge. We also have a screw down crown and screw down case back. As for the actual weight of this one, it's 167 gram, and that is sized up for me and my slim wrist, so it is even heavier on a full link bracelet. And finally, the water resistance is 200 meters claimed. So kicking off with a dial, and we have a black finish that has a very fine texture up close. This does somewhat shift to grey under certain lighting, though I'm presuming that's possibly from the light refraction caused by the dome crystal, but I might be wrong. Anyway, moving on to the indices, and we have a mix of circular ones and trapezoid shaped ones at the 6, 9 and a double at the 12. These are all applied, loom filled, and have a nice high polished border. At the 3 there is a large day date complication with a slight beveled edge sloping inwards, but you know, I'm not going to go into more than that. Under the 12 is the Pagani design logo printed, as is their branding. Above the 6 it says automatic, divers, 200 meters, 660 feet, part of which is in red, which does match the rest of the red accents on the watch. Up to the chapter ring, and it's the same finish as the dial and has a printed minute track with a mix of white and red markers. The red though is a touch tricky to see in some conditions, however. As for the hands, we get to my first complaint. They are too short. Both the hour and minute could have been doing with being a little bit longer, both for aesthetics and functionality. On the plus side, they are very nice looking with a mix of polish and also black counter ends and white loom film, so it's very nice and all complementary. The second hand is a little bit short as well. Again, it's nice, it's got a really sort of slender taper to it, a red tip for legibility and contrast, but again, just too short. So Kurt S asked if they were going to make a version 2 with larger hands. Now I have put that to Pagani, and I will obviously provide an update if I do get a reply on that situation, but as for now, as of the time of recording this, they haven't replied to that specific question as of yet. So thanks for that, Kurt. So moving outwards to the bezel, and here we have a 120 click unidirectional one. It has an aluminium insert with a Pepsi colour scheme that, you know, works well with the watch. So also worth noting that this colour bezel is the only one that's aluminium and the rest are ceramic. And I have clarified this with Pagani just for guarantee. So here, Troy, aka the Bald Watch Collector, asked what colour insert I would choose as an option. I personally would like to see a green and yellow one, with the same colour accents on a dark black dial. I think that'd be pretty cool. You don't really see that colour combo all that often, and I think it could work potentially quite well. So thanks for the question, Troy. As for the in use, and it's actually one of the better ones I've used from Pagani. Go figure. It has nicely defined clicks, solid action, it's quite smooth, and the bezel grip is very, very nice. John Lee and Watch Sixter also asked about the alignment, and I can confirm it's all good. Bang on, no complaints, so thank you for that, you guys. James also asked if I could compare the bezel to similar watches I have on hand, and I actually have two that fit the bill, the San Martin and Steel Dive Willard homages. So grip goes to the Steel Dive. It's the best, it's just nicest and best to use out of all three. Pagani does actually come in at a close second, with San Martin third. The Pagani's is really nice and grippy. The San Martin's though is a little bit slippery, which is what I mentioned in the review. Action, I've given San Martin a slight win just because I think it feels a little bit more premium and a little bit more refined. Steel Dive is second, very, very close behind the San Martin. It's just not quite as refined, but it feels really solid and robust. And I've given Pagani last, but it is actually really, really close, which I was quite surprised at. Alignment is a draw. All of them are bang on, no issues at all. Play, so back play, the Steel Dive actually wins as it has the least. San Martin is second with a little bit more play, and Pagani is third, has the most, but it's still actually not a lot. All in all, I mean, the Pagani really doesn't fare that well compared to the cheaper Steel Dive and the more expensive San Martin, but if you take those off the table, it's actually pretty good with just a few little issues, none of which I would call deal breakers, so thanks James. Onto the sides, and we have a nicely done polished finish with a brushed top surface which flows nicely from lug to lug straight across the top of the case. It's really nicely done, no over brushing or anything like that, so yeah, good stuff. The other side is bang the same, apart from, of course, we have the crown, which does have a really nice little accent of polish surrounding it, and I think it just makes it look a little bit more premium than some other ones that I've seen. So very nicely done. The crown also fits very nice and snug with great tolerances, so good job there. To the case back next, and here we have one of my favourite that they've done so far. It has a mix of finishes that are high polished, brushed, and of course bead blasted. The accents are all done in a polish just to get that little bit of a pop. The brushing frames the centre, and then right in the middle we have a high polished turtle, and I think it's one of the ones that actually has a cohesive theme, and it does work really well, and it's all well executed. You'll also see the specifications and a little bit of information again, which is all well done, so big surprise, well done there. So moving on to the bracelet, and Rob actually asked if the strap measures up. And well, I'm just going to say for that, it's got some good stuff and it's got some bad stuff, just like, you know, all of it. To the good stuff first, and we have end links that are solid and also female. They have a nice tolerance, so we don't get any wobble at all. The finishing is great too, with a mix of brushing and tasteful polished accents flanking the mid link. We also have solid links and a nice bit of articulation too. The clasp is also milled and done to a good standard. Finally, we have double security pushers and 3 micro adjusts. Hey guys, so as I was filming the B-roll and the nice shots for this Pagani review, this happened. Can you see just right there? The pin holding the part of the milled clasp in place has popped out. Can you see just there? Yeah. So I am not happy with that. I've never seen that happen before on a watch, and oh god. Well, anyway, so that's just a quick update and another issue that I found during filming. Another little addition, I was going to demonstrate that the fold over clasp gets stuck, but as you can see now, because this bit's popped out, it won't close at all. So yeah, this is even worse than I originally thought just literally a minute ago. Right guys, so another little amendment. Usually at this point of the review I show you this on wrist, but I have just tried for a good few minutes to get this to go back in, and it's just refusing to pop back into place. So unfortunately, I mean, I can show it you on wrist, but I can't close the clasp to properly secure it. I mean, it's a little bit tight, but you know, there you go. It's not perfect. I'll actually pop up a picture I took it on wrist properly before it decided to break. So yeah, that's how it wears. But honestly, guys, yeah, this is, you know, it's unacceptable now. So next to the movement, and I'm not going to waffle about this one, it's a Seiko NH36. I'm not going to bore you to death with all the details and specs. We all know they're a good, reliable movement. So how's the actual crown and stuff? Well, it's actually very nice. The grip is plentiful, it's a good size, and the re-engagement and engagement is great too. So I've got no complaints in use at all. So moving on to the loom. And Warris asked if the loom lasts all night, and unfortunately it does not. Like other Pagani's, loom is their Achilles heel. It always falls short. It's a shame though, because this one could have been better. There's plenty of area for the loom, it's just not being fully utilised enough. So guys, this is not the original planned ending for this review. I actually did a proper review like I've been doing for a while, where it's all pre-recorded and then I put B-roll over the top of it. But as you've seen in the review, with the amendments I've made, this one did actually break. So now I'm sort of in a bit of dilemma. I'm not really sure what to do. Do I keep, you know, reviewing Pagani's, or do I just give them, you know, a swerve until they sort this stuff out? Because if you've seen my past, you know, few Pagani reviews, or in fact all of them, they've all had issues. And each time I've reviewed one, I've given my feedback to Pagani, and they don't seem to be actually implementing the suggestions. And I'm presuming I'm not the only one. I'm presuming other, you know, people give Pagani feedback, and probably from the community as well, but they're just not taking that advice on board, and that I have a bit of a problem with. Now other brands I've worked with, they take, you know, it on board, and they're actually doing stuff about their products and making it better. Pagani, I mean, as you can see, they're just not. I mean, the hands, prime example, I mean, you can clearly tell that those hands are too small for this watch. You can also tell the loom. I say every single review, their loom needs addressing, but they haven't. They've not addressed it, and it's been months and months and months, and they're just not doing anything about it. And there's other little things as well, the clasp issue, you know, the bezel. It's all these little things that people, myself included, have said that needs working on and improving. But clearly they're not, and it's well proof in this, you know. It's got a lot of good things about it, it's got a lot of potential. Like I said, you know, it's so close but so far. But yeah, it just needs improving, but they're just not doing it. And that's where I'm sort of having my dilemma. Do I keep reviewing these in the hopes that they're going to get better? Or at this point, are they just set in their ways now? And are they just going to keep, you know, making watches that could be better, but on knowing that people are going to buy them anyway? And therein lies my problem. So what do you guys think? Because I really don't know. I don't know whether to just, you know, stop reviewing them, keep an eye on what, you know, their progress is, and see if they're worth, you know, reviewing a few months down the line. See if it's worth picking another one up and, you know, seeing if they've improved, or is it just too little too late? That's my dilemma. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Should I keep reviewing them? Should I not? I'm just a bit torn. Part of me is saying no, you know, I think enough's enough. They're not listening. But another part is like, I really want to see if they can improve the watches and make them better. But yeah, I just don't know, guys. I really don't. So let me know your thoughts. And yeah, as for this one, as a final summary, I don't really recommend it, and I suggest looking at other people's, you know, content and seeing if they've got sort of similar problems to, you know, what I'm having with this one. So yeah, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any uploads, and of course follow me on social media at Mr. Budget Watch. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.